Hey, how's it going? It is ITJ, Taurai Jack from M5 Property Addicts, and welcome aboard. And if you've never been here before, good having you around. And this is where we talk anything and everything around property. If I'm not here at this particular time, I am out there investing in property. So I'm an active property investor, and I've had the privilege to win the award, Investor of the Year, for the big leagues. And over and above that, if I'm not doing that's what I'm doing now, giving you some tips, I am potentially writing a book. My latest book is called From Bad Debt to Property Mogul in 2 years. You want to check it out on our Facebook page, M5 Property Addicts. But hey, today I want to share with you 13 tips. 13 tips on how you can find great deals. 13 of them, I have all utilized them, and all of them actually I have banked some money, meaning that I've got a deal and out of it I have had a good success. So let's not waste time and let's jump into it. The first one, this is the easy one because I am a relationship person. I like nurturing relationships. The first one is find an estate agent to work with, okay? Find an estate agent to work with. I think this is one of the areas that we kind of like omit, but I still do have relationships with so many estate agents, and all of these guys, they bring me deals, and some of them, they bring me deals that are not even advertised anyway. They know that I'm buying all the time, so they bring me good deals. Number two, find a portal. Right? Find a portal you are happy to work with and understand how that portal works. Understand how that portal works, right? So for instance, what am I talking about? When I remember when I started off, and I still like it, I've got two websites that are my go-tos in terms of finding properties. This is Property 24 and Private Property. And I have understood how they work. So guess what? On Property 24, for instance, I actually have an account. And on that account, what happens is that each time when someone actually loads an advert, right? They load an advert wherever they are. And this is in a particular area that I like. And the deal, or should I say the property that they are loading, fulfills what I am looking for. Boom! I get an email at that time. And guess what happens? It pops up on my email, and I have a look at it, and I'm like, do I like it? Yeah, no. Yes, I do like it. I pick up the phone, I call them, hey, what's happening? And I get to be the first one who gets to know of this. This can also happen to you. You can also get the first email when that deal comes by. So I get to make sure that I am registered, and from time to time, I'm also looking into my account to see which ones I can make which ones of the properties I can make my favorites, and I can track them to see how well they are performing. The third one is I like walking around, I like exercising, so that's one of the things that I do. So I don't just walk around, I walk around and work as well. So which basically means that as I walk around, I am looking for properties as I walk around. But how do I see that this is the one that I like? I look for properties that look as if they've been abandoned. I'm looking for properties where the grass has gone tall, right? Where the property is not being maintained. Why are they not maintaining it? And what I do at the back of that is, because I've got access to reports that you can get, but actually everyone can get these reports, Lightstone, Winded, TPN, you can go onto their website. So I will note the address of that place. I go through to online, and out of that, I then check who the owner is. And out of that, I give them a ring. Hi, how's it going? I am looking at buying your property. It's called cold calling, right? And if you've never done it before, try it. It does work. Sometimes those people could be actually selling their properties. Hey, they might not even know what their property is worth. So you can offer them anything that you want or how you see the property's value at that time. Step number 4, should I say tip number 4, and how this has also helped me, not only do I walk around, but as I'm walking around, I can also drive around. So they call it, some of my friends back in the States, they call it drive for dollars. Well, I call it just drive around. So you drive around in a particular neighborhood that you are happy with to work in. And again, I do the same. I've gotten many properties this way. I look at a particular property, I like it, I note the address, and when I get home, I kind of like start looking at which property. However, the property reports like TPN actually allows you to pull a report whilst you're standing in that particular property, but you need to be utilizing their app for you to be getting that. So that is tip number 4 on how you can be looking for properties. If you don't know, you know how to look for these properties, I suggest that what you're actually looking for is you need your eye to be trained so that you are able to identify the right property. And for that reason, I always say that if you get trained, then it's very much easier for you to identify these properties. If that is you want to get trained at M5 Property Varsity, we've got a school that we've put together a whole lot of videos that can help you actually to get your eye trained so that you can spot these opportunities and you can be buying them. And hopefully you can become investor of the year like me. Boom! Okay, enough with the excitement, is that right? Step number 5, or should I say tip number 5. How many people actually know that you're looking for a property? How many people actually know that you're looking for properties? If nobody knows that what you're looking for, nobody is able to help you. So I've got family and friends. Actually, in my local church, I am known as the real estate guy because everyone knows that I'm always buying property. So don't they confuse you with an estate agent? You are that guy who is always buying. So I'm always of the view that let people know that this is what you are buying. You are always buying. So on that note, you start getting traffic coming through to you. If someone wants to sell their house, you are the first one who's going to know first. Number 6, right? There is property networks out there. There is property networks out there. A whole lot of them are, let's say, on social media, like on Facebook. Join them, right? A lot of them do happen in person. The one that I know, that I'm familiar with, and you might find me there, it's called Sapping. I am always there. So you can go through to all these networking sessions or online or whatever the case could be, and you need to tell people that this is what you are looking for. Oh yeah. Now, tip number 7, post an advert. Post an advert. Gumtree, they give out adverts for free. Is it OLX? Yeah, OLX, they give out adverts for free. I have actually gotten some success with Gumtree myself, or even actually on Facebook. Facebook does have a Facebook market. I've had some success with that. So post an advert and let people know that you are looking at buying a property. What kind of a property are you wanting to buy? Make it obvious so that they can see it. If it is a grandma, a Tani out there who's looking at that advert, make it very clear on what is it that you're looking for. Right. The step number 6. No, step number 7. Post an advert about what you're looking for. That's what we're talking about just now, right? So tip number 8. Tip number 8. There are people out there who are called sourcing agents. There are people out there that are willing to go and work for you. And generally you find these people in the networking sessions. That's what they do. They go out there to look for properties for people like you who are not trained or who don't want to be trained. Yes, who don't want to go to school so that you can do it for yourself. But these are people that are called sourcing agents, and they've been doing this for a while. So it means that when they do have a deal on the table, you are going to pay top dollar for it. I think getting educated is much better than paying top dollar for a deal. That's just my view. Hey, but maybe you don't have the time. Your work life is busy. that's okay too, right? Tip number 9, I have utilized this before. Have signs around, right? You could have a house maybe, or you could be somewhere in a neighborhood where you can put up signs. So put a sign somewhere that says, I buy houses, and put your number there, put your website there, put your email address there. It don't matter, but just put up a sign so that people know exactly. Tip number 10, this I have utilized before. For about 2 good years, I used to utilize this one. On my car, I actually had a magnet that was made up for me for maybe about 100 Rand or something like that. I don't remember. But I actually had a magnet, and on my door, or together with my passenger's door, I had a magnet advertising that I buy cars. And I used to have traffic coming through to me, people telling me that, hey, I saw your advert. I want to sell my house. Are you willing to buy from me? And that way, that was coming through to me. Yes, you can have traffic coming through to you, and you can be selective about the amount of the deals that you could be getting, or selective about the area that you are wanting to buy. So that's round about step number 10, or should I say tip number 10. The other tip that I also like, this one is one of my best ones. I enjoy using this one, but it includes a little bit of paperwork behind it. Step number 11 is I look for expired listing. Right. There's a little bit of science behind this around the expired listing. Let's take an example, right? So you are John, you found an estate agent, you put your house for sale, and after about a year to 2 years, that house doesn't sell. So which means that with those particular estate agents, they brought in people, they put in offers, and John couldn't get a buyer. So for me, what I did, and this is why I like Property 24, is because I can track that property. And it also, Property 24 then tells me that that particular advert that John's estate agent did put in, it is expired. If it is expired, then I can go back to my estate agent and I can ask them, hey, what has happened with John's house that we went to view? And then they'll tell me, are you still interested? I can say yes or no, depending with the relationship that I've got with this estate agent. But if they say to me, well, the mandate is expired and we couldn't get a seller, that's a good indication for me to actually see that this property is still on the market. John wants to sell, but there wasn't anyone who was wanting to buy it at that particular time. I can then negotiate through my estate agent, or I can go and negotiate by myself if my estate agent doesn't want anymore to work with John. It does happen sometimes, right? So it basically means that there's a bit of lag time that you need to be looking out for. You need to be tracking all of this. So it means that you need to be working with some spreadsheet. You need to be working with your Property 24. You can see that you're not doing this once in a while kind of like thing, but you're actually tracking some of these places as and when they are out there. So that's why I said it's a little bit of a scientific, because you need a system to actually track them. What do I mean by a system? It could be an Excel spreadsheet that you're all populating. Who is this person? Who's the agent? What's the property? Did you view it? When did you view it? And what was your thinking around that time? Because the more properties that you're going to see, the more you're going to forget. So you need to load all of these things. The number 12, I used to have, back in the days, I used to have a website. And this website, actually, it was all about I buy properties. But I don't do that these days because I've got a lot of traffic coming through my way of properties that are on sale. And I now know exactly which ones I want. So I work with particular estate agents that I work with, and together with sourcing agents that I work with. So I get good deals coming through. And that's why that website is not working for me, right? But I banked some money on it. And basically what you need to do is to put a website out there. And on that website, you can optimize it. You find someone whom you can pay to optimize it, or you can do it yourself. And this website, you can throw some money behind it, and with a little bit of adverts, and it can start working for you. then the adverts start catching people's eyes, those that are wanting to sell their house, and they will apply to you to say, hey, can you buy my property, please? This is how much I want it for, and you can do all sorts of things in there. I got a couple of my boys who are doing that, and actually some of my sourcing agents, they utilize that, but I don't do it anymore because it's not my happy place. I've got other sourcing ways now that are bringing good deals. The last one, which is number 13, is all about everything and anything around online, right? We spoke about the website, but there's a whole lot that you can do online to actually start getting leads coming through your way. There is what they call Google searches. There is what they call social media advertising. But the whole point is that all of these things, you can need to craft it, to put in some form of advertising behind it, and all you're sending it all out there into the world and in areas that you're wanting to particularly work with, and those adverts are continuously there, and people now starts coming through to you as opposed to you looking for people. It's called working smart. But hey, this is ITJ from M5 Property Addicts. If you are wanting to know a little bit more about all of this that I've been talking to you about, and it's all sounding gibberish right now, or you've gotten a grips of it and you're like, hey, I want to learn more about this, I would say that you are the person that you need to come through to join M5 Property Varsity, and for a small fee of you can get through to have some good education around it, and on a monthly basis you pay a subscription and you get to actually have a whole lot of learning videos. Well, I'm hoping actually this video that I've put in here have been beneficiary to you, but this is just a snippet of what you can find at M5 Property Varsity. Hey, if you haven't subscribed in here, you need to subscribe on this channel, and you can also share this one so that we can teach as many people out there. It is I, TJ, Taurai Jack from M5 Property Addicts. We'll check you out on the next video. Peace out. God bless.